Okay, so we decided to do ours about kernels of knowledge. So it's a popcorn themed lesson. Our grade level is 2nd grade, and we're going to cover history, science, English, writing, and math. Our unit of study are major events and details, sequential order, evaluating advertisements, and answering who, what, when, where, and how questions. Adjectives, senses, author's purpose, and bar graphs, and adding and subtracting. This is the overall instructions. You'll start by playing the popcorn song video for the hook, and then we each took a subject matter and made our own instructions for our own activity. So it says, follow instructions for activities for history, and then follow instructions for the other activities. And this is a timeline of how it should go, such as history, science, and English, and that kind of thing. And for history, you want me to read the standards?
No, can you just give me a good overview of them?
This is finding the major events and from like a text or something that you go over in class.
Okay.
And you ask and answer questions about like who, what, when, where, and how. And then this one is write an opinion piece, and it's supposed to use linking words to connect their opinions and reasons. And they write this opinion piece about an advertisement they're evaluating it.
Okay.
I did science and English, and my GLEs, the science one is over your 5 senses. The English and writing is over adjectives and complete sentences. And I'm going to be the one doing the activity as a whole, and so that's what this worksheet is.
Okay.
And then I had writing and English standards, and it's basically writing and using correct grammar and all these different kinds of words. And then create audio recordings of stories and read with sufficient accuracy and fluency, and then use digital tools to produce and publish writings. And what we're going to be doing is making an advertisement. We're going to be writing a short paper first, describing the popcorn that we're going to pop, and they're going to try to sell you the popcorn. And then they're going to take the Story Kit app that we, a group did a presentation on it in this class a while back, and we're going to use it to create an advertisement for the popcorn.
Oh, cool idea.
And I had math. For mine, we're going to mostly learn about adding and subtracting with bar graphs. Also, the bar graphs will help. You're going to make your own bar graph. You're going to do like a survey, and then you're going to use the information from the survey to make a bar graph.
That's me again.
And you don't have to read
Yeah.
all of those. Can you just give us a good overview?
They'll be able to take information from a text and construct a timeline and use chronological order, and they'll be able to write an opinion piece using linking words, form a concluding sentence, and they'll be able to evaluate other students' opinion pieces and answer those questions that I talked about earlier, and find main ideas and key details from the text.
For science and English, they're going to be able to observe something that's going on around them using all 5 of their senses, and I'm hoping to enhance their vocabulary through adjectives by using adjectives to be more descriptive and describe what's going on around them, and also hopefully this will influence their writing skills as well.
And they'll be able to use proper grammar and use adjectives when writing, like she said, and then use an advertisement and persuade people.
For math, you're going to demonstrate your use of numbers, know how to count by 1s and 2s, 5s, and 10s. Then I use manipulatives, like I use popcorn as the manipulative, so they can have a hands-on activity.
So what happens if I eat my kernels?
Well, it's going to mess it up. So don't do that.
And these are just essential questions like what is a timeline, and what should a concluding sentence include, and what is a concluding sentence, and just like examples of linking words and stuff like that.
Okay.
Mine are what are your 5 senses, what are adjectives, and then what makes a complete sentence. What should we include in one sentence in order for it to be complete.
Okay.
And then what techniques can writers use to craft narratives, and how do speakers report interesting information from their background and relate it to their reading.
Mine is what is an equation, how do you determine the difference between an addition symbol and a subtraction symbol, and then how are bar graphs used in the real world by using the survey.
these are our I can statements. You know, they'll be able to understand important details in a story, put events or ideas in order, give reasons for their opinions, and write a closing statement. They'll be able to link their ideas and their reasoning for that.
For science and English, they can observe using all 5 of their senses. They can think of adjectives to describe what they are observing, and they can write a complete sentence.
They can use proper capitalization and punctuation, spelling patterns, adjectives, and technology.
And mine is you can solve addition and subtraction problems as well as make a bar graph.
This is the academic language for history, key details, linking words, sequential order, timeline, main idea, and evaluating.
This is the academic language for science and English. That's 5 sentences, adjectives, and a complete sentence is a group of words related by meaning which states a capital letter and ends with a period, exclamation, or a question mark, has a subject and a verb, predicate, and has complete thought.
For writing in English, it's collective nouns, irregular plural nouns, illustration, audio, and record.
Mine's adding, subtracting, bar graphs, what a manipulative is, and how to explain your reasoning.
And these are our different formative and summative assessments. It kind of goes like history. These are my 2, and this is my summative one. And this is yours, right? And that's the materials. And here's our song. Thank you.
So we would start by playing this as our hook.
Oh, popcorn, popping here and there. I could eat it all day without.
So that's how we'll start out to get their attention. And here's the history part. I would use the same video, and I guess I'll just keep it. You would introduce the goals of the lesson and go over the vocabulary terms and essential questions for history, and then you would play this video that I have. It goes over like the history of popcorn kind of saving the movie theaters and stuff, and then I have instructions for activity 1, 2, and 3 that are based on the standards. And for activity 1, you would create a list of events and key details from the video with the students. Like after the video, you would have certain students, you know, like call out something that really caught their eye from the video and just write it, not necessarily in order, but however they said it on the board, and let them pull up this website here and construct a timeline. And you just type in like your name, or maybe it'll, anyway, it lets you create a timeline.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. And then they could save that and email it to you, and you could also let the students present their timelines. And then activity 2, you would pass out this blank piece of paper that has like who, what, when, where, and how, and let them come up with their own questions to make sure they understood the video and its contents. And then you could let a few students share, you know, like one of their questions and see if somebody in the class could answer it. And then we're going to come back to activity 3 for mine. And that's how you would end everything, by having them turn everything in and take the quiz on Socrative. I made a 15-question quiz on Socrative that goes over the who, what, when, where, and how, and stuff from the video. And
how much does Socrative cost?
it's free.
Yeah, it is.
And so that would be the summative assessment, would be the Socrative quiz. And then this is the worksheet that I was talking about for the questions, and that's for the timeline. Go over here.
I am science and English, and that's what we're going to be doing the activity today. To begin, I would play this brain pop and this will go over adjectives that your students will be able to know what they actually are.
Who knows brain pop already? Okay. Sarah, do you know brain pop?
Yep.
Do y'all use brain pop?
Yep.
Okay.
All the time.
That was in Canada when we drove up for the summer. You know, it's really hard reminiscing with you, and you keep deleting parts of your memory. Dear Tim and Moby, can you help me with adjectives?
Okay, so this is just a video that describes to your students what adjective is. At the end of the movie, which is at the end of this, it's kind of like a closure, but we're going to do it at the beginning. You're going to push quiz right over here on the side. We're going to do review mode, and this is going to ask your students a question. You can answer that back as a class to see if they really paid attention, they actually know what an adjective is, and where it would go in a complete sentence. So you would click this, and it's going to tell you the answer right then and there. So that's complete. You can just always go on here. There is some free, and this new one. So I included the link as well.
Okay, good.
Okay, next we're going to introduce the goals of the lessons, go over vocabulary and essential terms, and then we're going to actually do the activity now. For this first activity, I'm going to go over here, but we have an air popper, and this is going to pop popcorn. We're going to do it with our students. They are going to observe. They actually get to watch what's happening. And this, as you're observing, I'm going to give you some popcorn as well. Using your five sentences, you're going to fill out this, writing a complete sentences, 3 of them, with an adjectives that you're observing what is going on, like how it's going to smell in the room, how it tastes, how it feels, how the popcorn is. So, you just put it on, and it doesn't take.
Lauren, can we actually just do it like a verbal type group exercise because of time restraint? Okay, it's 5 till.
So what this is going to do is just pop popcorn. Your students are going to get to engage popcorn actually being popped. So
This is for second grade.
you can also do this with other, not just adjectives, but anything else that's going on. And I included the link for this worksheet as well.
This is going to be the smallest popcorn popper I've ever seen.
And then for the second activity, I'm going to go ahead and go over that while this is popping. After they've completed that worksheet, they're going to do a craft. So you can make a bulletin board in your classroom just like that one, stating adjectives make our writing pop. I included all the links to the worksheets that you'll need to print off for your class. And they're going to get to use this not only just with this activity, but they can refer back to that board of adjectives they can use in their writing at any time.
We're about to have popcorn.
And then for the closure, you're going to instruct your students to turn in this worksheet after they complete it. And then you're going to instruct your students to turn in that craft as well so you can display it, clean up what's going on, and you can make that writing, adjectives make our writing popcorn.
It smells like it's burning to me.
Yeah.
It smells like it, but it's not.
Okay.
It's popping out good.
No.
Are things falling out of there?
Yeah, look.
Okay, I see now.
So your students are going to get to
Is this buttered?
Yes.
For the writing in English, this is just the timeline of what we're going to be doing. And for the instructional procedures, you'll just go over the vocabulary and then go over the activities. Just ignore our burning popcorn.
I thought I
What
smelled
we'll be
something
doing
burning.
is students will write a persuasive paper advertising their own special popcorn. And then they're going to use the iPads and Story Kit to write a 2 or 3 page advertisement for their popcorn using their paper as a script. And then this is just the, what to do. Pretty simple. And then I included pictures of where to go on StoryKit and how like they would do that. Making sure to include illustrations because that's one major part of one of the standards. And then, why is it going?
I don't know.
Stop. And then that was it. I mean,
Okay.
for the assessment, then they would email the teacher the StoryKit app, the StoryKit advertisement that they had, and then they would turn in their writing paper as like a writing assessment for the summative.
Okay.
And then that's where my third activity comes in, where they use her paper that they write for her and evaluate each other's advertisement and use the linking words and stuff.
Okay.
Okay, and I had mathematics. This is just an overview of what I'm just about to talk about. To begin, I would use a warm-up activity about adding and subtracting, and I'm going to do that. So I found this worksheet, and there's the link for it, and it's, you use the popcorn that she just popped. So they just get a handful of popcorn, like say there's 5 pieces, so you'll lay the 5 pieces on there, and then say you get 3 more on your second when you put 3 there, then move them all over to the end, so then they can just count them, and that's using it as a manipulative, and they seem to really grasp the idea better like that. And then after they do that, they write the number in the popcorn. So that'll be the warm-up activity to get them involved in it. So then the adding and subtracting, you'll just fill out a worksheet. Each group is giving a container of, it's got yellow and white paper in it. So on the yellow pieces of paper, there will be either a subtraction symbol or an addition symbol. And then on the white pieces of paper, there's numbers 1 through 20. So they'll pull out 2 pieces of white and 1 yellow. So it'll be an equation. So then, here's a picture of it. It's like this. So then, there's the first number. There's, how do you go back? So there's like 14 plus 5. So that way they pull it out, make their own equation, then write it down on a piece of paper, and they do it in groups. So that way they work a little better. Here's just a simple worksheet of popcorn subtraction, and you just fill it out, and you can also use that popcorn as the manipulative if you need to. And then for bar graphs, I found these worksheets on Teachers Pay Teachers. This one you can use the class as the survey. So you ask each student what their favorite popcorn is. So if it's butter, you just put a tally there. So then for this one, you use these tallies and fill in the bar graph. So that way they're making their own bar graph by using the class. And then for my closure, the assessment, I made a Kahoot quiz, and it has popcorn, but it's just addition and subtraction. So we would play it, but we're kind of short on time.
Yeah.
So. And then this is our formative and summative assessments. This is
what we've
the
already
flow.
talked
Yeah,
about.
we've already.
Gotcha.
So.
And then this is our adaptations to meet individual needs. For Title I schools that may not have iPads and all that, all the tests can be printed out and done on paper, and they can draw an advertisement instead of using an app, or they can also read their essays out loud instead of having it recorded on the app, and they can work in groups if you don't have many iPads, but you have a few. And for disabilities, students with sensory disabilities, like if they're deaf or blind, they can be given a list of adjectives already wrote out for them for the popcorn. And you can pair them up with other students to keep them concentrated, and if they have any kind of disability that would prevent them from using the iPads, then that would help them with the group too.
And same for the actual popcorn that we pop in the classrooms. They can feel that as well, and that's something that lower students in grades really enjoy, and it gets them engaged and wanting to learn more and actually do the activity.
Yeah, I actually remember popping popcorn. I did one in an air popper and one on the old-timey way, and one was buttered and one wasn't. One was salted and one wasn't. And let the 3-year-olds get in there and eat them. Which one do you think they prefer?
Same way, we was going to do that exact same thing, but of course we're
Butter
really
and salt.
low on
Yes.
time.
Yes.
But
All right, questions? Round of applause.
Carrie, how did you use it? I'm in 2nd grade right now, and that was pretty cool. I should have came earlier. The only thing is when you give them an essential question, it's best, yes, keep some of those big words in there, but you need to try and get it more on a 2nd grade level.
Simplify.
Yes, simplify.
It's not bad that you have those big words in there because you can say, you're going to learn like a big first word. And they love it and they say it all day. And then the next day they forget it, but you started in the beginning. So, very cool.
Okay, very good. Very good. Round of applause. Next group up. While you're getting ready, she's going to fill out her form. Did you stop us?
I will stop.
Pull it down.